Hi, this is Natasha Barilla from AppleTree Institute for Education Innovation. I am the Director of Communications and Early Ed Initiatives, and welcome to Early Ed Podcast. Today, we have Jessica Giles from Education Reform Now, DC, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and the organization. Jessica?
Thank you for having me on, Natasha. I'm excited to be here. As Natasha said, I am Jessica Giles, and I'm delighted to be speaking with you today. Because I got my start as an early childhood provider in Blythewood, South Carolina, where I worked with infants and toddlers and pre-K students. So this issue is near and dear to my heart. From there, I worked at a lot of different organizations in DC, worked in the Council's Committee on Education, and then I am the Executive Director of Education Reform Now, DC. And at ERNDC, we are a nonprofit organization that's focused on advocating for high quality public education for pre-K through 16 students and youth throughout the DC area. So we've been here since 2015. This is our 10-year anniversary, so we're just humbled and honored and excited to do this work.
Oh, congratulations on the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you.
AppleTree is actually going through our 20th
Wow.
anniversary. Um,
Well, look forward to getting there.
yeah,
Getting
yeah, yeah. So, it's really interesting what you were saying there. So, I'm curious from your perspective, because I'm gonna dive right into those questions. What is the most important change necessary for pre-K policy to have a lasting positive impact?
Well, we know how important it is for young people and children to get a strong start in education. And we know that 80% of a child's brain is formed by the time they're 3 years old. So we want to make sure that our babies get every single thing possible to ensure that they have a great start in their education. And so pre-K is really the foundational for that. And DC has had universal pre-K education since 2008. And we are really have been trendsetters there. And for good reason, we've been able to keep steady public school enrollment over time. And that's been because we have the pre-K program. And so I'm really excited about that aspect of education in the district. And so one of the number one important changes that we can make and challenges that we can tackle is making sure that our pre-K students are going to school. We have a tremendous issue with student attendance in DC, high chronic absenteeism rates, high truancy rates. And even though pre-K is not mandatory, like kindergarten is, it's incredibly important. And so making sure that we are, and we meaning DC policymakers, the big we, that the DC policymakers are investing and supporting our students to get to and from their classrooms is going to be really important. That could make sure that our communities are safe for travel, that there's transportation options that works for families and pre-K students, and making sure that our classrooms are safe and adequately funded. Those are the ways that we can really strengthen pre-K education and set our students up for a lifetime of success.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep, and key on that student attendance as well. Um, it is important. It is something that has been a challenge in DC.
Yep.
Um, thank you for mentioning that as well. What actions can educators, parents, and the community members undertake to support meaningful policies for pre-K education?
Yeah. One of the things that we do at Education Reform Now, DC, is We advocate for policies that are going to ensure that we have a high quality education. We also have a network of DC residents that we work with. We call it the Education Reform Champions Network. And this network is, like I said, DC residents from all across the city who are passionate about education, who love kids, and want to see DC become the best education system in the nation. And one thing that we're always advocating for is strong literacy supports, strong math support, so that our students can have everything they need to succeed. And we know that success begins even as young as the pre-K age. And those early skills that students are learning when knowing the letters, the alphabet, being able to count to 10, recognizing shapes and colors, those are all very important skills. And also going to class, going to school
Yep.
every day is also very important. Skills that we see when you get an early start and an early strong start, that gives you the foundation of success for the rest of the grades that students are in. And so we are really working with our community members, our Education Reform Network, to really champion policies that are going to set up our students for success. So join us. I say all that to say, I'm asking educators, parents, community members to join us, the Education Reform Champions Network, as we advocate for policies that are going to put our kids in the best position to be successful.
Well, you all heard it here. You have to join the Education Reform um, Champions Program. It sounds great.
Yeah,
But how many people are involved right now? Do you have a set number right now that you have?
we, we don't have a set number.
Okay,
So, we want as many people to get involved as possible. Right now, we have 84 community members that are part of our program.
that's great.
And we're always looking for more people to join. You can find out more information at edreformnow.org, edreformnow.org, to learn more about the program.
That'd be great. Yeah, I think we could get that word around AppleTree and what have you. Because I mean, what you said, that's really important. As you were talking, I was thinking about the standards of pre-K standards, and it is AppleTree's mission to make sure that our little ones, because our uniqueness is educating 3 and 4 year olds, and we want to educate them to be able to be successful through life, but also to get that foundation when they get into kindergarten. Well, I'm gonna ask you an insightful type of question. Since you've done a lot, just you've worked for the council, you are now an executive director, you've lived in DC for quite a while. You know this district. If you could choose a superpower to have, or what to a superpower to have, what would it be, and how could you use it to make a difference?
Wow. Um, I would have to say the ability to predict the future.
Mm,
Right now, we are in very concerning times, to say the least. And there's a lot happening on the local level, on the national level, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So I believe that having this power would allow me to be able to see what's coming in the future and to do something about it. As advocates, we believe in being action oriented. And so that is a skill I would love to have. Now, I would love to be able to turn it off too. You
mm.
know,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
Yep,
could tap into this power when needed, but I wouldn't want it to be just on all the time.
yep.
So that I could, rest when needed, because rest is an act of resistance as well. But yeah, that would be my superpower.
All right. Thank you so much. You heard it here from Executive Director Jessica Giles. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Until the next time.
Until next time.